What up, YouTubers? Here's my local forecast. Check out this jet stream. When have you ever seen the jet stream dip that low? We're in a dry spell right now. We need water, rain so freaking bad. But we've got nice, hot, dry air and a jet stream that's keeping out all moisture, even on something that's pretty promising. Check it out.
Well, just mentioned here, we got beautiful sunshine, clear skies here in South Texas because that upper level dry high pressure is still sitting over us here in Texas. There's just a lot of dry air.
Dry high pressure, a lot of dry air, a lot of dry.
Moving in, our dew point's gone from the 70s down to the 60s, an indication of dry air coming in. You can see along this trough on the east side of that, that's where the moisture is, and there's this tropical wave, very disorganized tropical wave, just a bunch of clouds rolling across the Gulf of Mexico, not really moving very quickly.
It should be moving
There's
towards us.
There's no big significant area of low pressure out here, just again a big cluster of clouds, and it's producing some showers and thunderstorms
as
you go up into Florida and the eastern U.S.
Look at this jet stream.
You can see that here on the water vapor imagery. There's the upper level dry high pressure, and it's grabbing that dry air from the central U.S. and pushing it right down into Texas. Notice that brown shadings come all the way down to South Texas, and a lot of the western part of the Gulf of Mexico has got this pocket of dry air in it. So in the near future, saying tonight and through tomorrow, it doesn't look like this little tropical wave is going to get anywhere near us because of all that dry air in place.
Moisture we need.
And as you see here also, that trough of low pressure is streaming right across that tropical wave. And that's why it's staying very disorganized. And the moisture with this tropical...
Right here, man, there's a lot of growing by farmers going on here. Plus, everybody's relying on water and rain. Wildlife, vegetables, and they got this jet stream dipping this far down. Last night we had a north wind come in August, and it was cool because it was like a cold front because of this thing. Look how deep it's dipping.
Trough of low pressure is streaming right across that tropical wave, and that's why it's staying very disorganized, and the moisture with this tropical wave is not going west, as you see here. It's going to the northeast, away from Texas, so we certainly need some rainfall, but right now it is not coming our way.
Look at all this dry air. This is where all our hurricanes come from.
Very dry air out here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. There's a tropical storm Aaron, east of that, but as it continues to move into that dry air, it's continuing to weaken, and it's expected to fall from tropical storm status down to just a tropical wave out there in the Atlantic Ocean fairly soon. As you look at this tropical wave again, earlier this morning it did have an area of low pressure, and it was slowly moving to the west-southwest, and the computer models you see here have it now moving off south of us, maybe into Monday night into Tuesday. I say south of Texas, really, not south of us, of course. Not into our area, well south of us as well, but notice again it stays to the south if these computer models are accurate. But again, right now it's just a big cluster of clouds out there in the Gulf of Mexico. 92 degrees here in Corpus Christi, nice and hot, mostly sunny skies, and 45% humidity. A big cluster of clouds out there in the Gulf of Mexico. 92 degrees here in Corpus Christi, nice and hot, mostly sunny skies, and 45% humidity. Look at that dry air. The dew point's down to 60s opposed to the 70s, even though the wind's picked up out of the east at 20 miles per hour. And temperatures are hot inland, 101 up in George West, with 94 in Orange Grove, 97 there in the Alice area, and a little cooler closer to the coast, 88 in Rockport, 85 in Port Aransas. Water temperature is 86 degrees. And notice the heat index values are not out of control because, again, drier air has moved in. The humidity is not real high, so the heat index values are in the 90s and some lower 100s in the inland areas of the coastal bend. Similar situation for us tomorrow. Again, it's going to get hot, of course. 97 at 2 p.m. tomorrow, 4 p.m. 9.
That dip in the jet stream, man.
Some thunderstorms.
Craziest shit I've ever seen. And all this dry fucking air. High pressure's always set on top of us.
That tropical wave, and that's why it's staying very disorganized. And the moisture with this tropical wave is not going west, as you see here. It's going to the northeast, away from Texas. High air out here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Here.
Look at that fucking thing. I rarely ever see it dip like that. Can the jet stream be manipulated? I know high pressures can be created, man by man. All you gotta do is spray chemtrails, get it real fucking hot. Heat rises and builds up the pressure. I got a high pressure, it's real fucking easy. Anywhere they got chemtrails, they're creating high pressures. High pressures don't allow low pressures to develop into thunderstorms, which provide everybody with substantial amount of rainfall. And that hurricane spinning around, that low pressure spinning around down there has been acting kind of weird, man. It's kind of been sitting there spinning and spinning and spinning in the same spot for like 3 days now. I guess it's finally gone away, but man, there was a low pressure sitting here spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. Nothing's gonna develop because it's getting beat up by this dry air right here coming in and eating up all the moisture, just destroying it, destroying our chances for any kind of significant rainfall. The end of this blue line here. But it was cool air. We need rain more than cool air. Some strange activity going on around here. That dip, I don't like it. Madman out of here.